Today we're going to focus on integers, specifically identifying and comparing integers in chapter section 11.1. Now, integers are whole numbers. What this means is that these are numbers that are not fractions. Numbers less than 0 are going to be negative numbers. So there can be positive integers and negative integers. You can repeat both negative and positive numbers on a number line. So if you have a number line, you can post negative numbers, you can post positive numbers. Integers consist of the whole numbers and their opposites. As you can see on the chart, we have negative integers, which are negative numbers, and positive integers, which are positive numbers. These are not decimals or fractions. These are whole numbers. Okay, let's locate -4, 0, and 2 on the number line below. We have -4, we have 0, and we have 2. And you can see those identified here. So these are all integers. Now, two numbers are opposites if they are the same distance from 0 on the number line, such as -1 is the same distance to 0 as 1. So they are opposites. -4 is the same distance to -4. So -3 is the same distance to 0 as 3 is on the number line. The opposite of a negative number is positive, and the opposite of a positive number is negative. Now 0 basically doesn't have an opposite, so there's nothing else on the number line, so 0 is its own opposite. So let's go ahead and let's find what is the opposite of -5. That's pretty easy. Okay, so -5 is a negative, so what's the positive of that? That would be 5. Okay, here are 3 practice examples that I want you to try. Please go ahead and do these on your own. Draw your own little number line. For practice 1, we have -3 and 3. For practice 2, you have -1 and 5. And then for practice 3, you have -4 and 2. Now, -3 and 3 are opposites. The other ones are not. But let's go ahead and draw your own number line and identify these. Okay, here are your answers. -3 and 3. -1 and 5. And then -4 and 2. Okay, check to make sure you did this correct. Now, specifically identifying and comparing integers. The positive integers, we already said, are natural numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. And then our negative integers are going to be the opposite of those. So on a number line, the smaller of two integers will be always to the left. So if something's smaller, if it's negative, if we have -7 and -5, which one is going to be smaller? It's going to be the one further to the left. So a -7 would be further to the left than a -5. -7 clearly is to the left of 5 on the number line. So 5 is greater than -7. In the same way, -7 and -5 would still yield the same answer. -5 would still be further to the right. -7 would be further to the left. So negative would still be smaller. And make sure you know the greater and less than signs. So let's look at example number 4. Let's compare the integers. Please write a greater than sign or a less than sign. 10 and -1. And then letter B, -5 and -2. So go ahead, pause this, and then let's take a look at the answers. Okay, 10 and -1. 10 is, if we do draw our number line, 10 is going to be closer to the right, while -1 is going to be closer to the left. I can look at the number line above to kind of help me visualize. So -1 will be less than 10. Or 10 would be greater than -1. -5 is further to the left. -2 is further to the right, closer to 0. So negative 5 would be smaller. So negative 5 is less than negative 2, or negative 2 is greater than negative 5.